Passionate public showing in Blair tonight as a long-awaited draft of a new comprehensive plan and zoning regulations for Washington County was met with condemnation. In a follow-up to a story Mike McKnight first told us about last night, 6 News' Brent Weber was on hand for the fireworks.
I have many things I could say, but I would just say this. A solution to this whole thing is start over.
Pam Daly was the first public speaker at Thursday's joint meeting of Washington County Supervisors and Planning Commission. And she delivered a haymaker in her sharp rebuke of a proposed new comprehensive strategy for the county.
Everybody up here recognizes that the process broke down, and the process breaking down, that's what we're saying. And we recognize that, and we're here to try to make it right now.
The library in Blair was overflowing. A conservative estimate of 250 filled the room and the halls looking for answers to a draft most are seeing for the first time. Already approved by the Planning Commission, the 166-page document was met with a litany of complaints, ranging from constraints on small farmers and home-based businesses to residential zoning and limits on how current residents can use their property in the future.
Where is the vision from the people sitting at these tables? You know deep down what Washington County should be and what these hills should be. It could be a very special place if we allow it to be.
A new comprehensive plan is needed by 2025. It'll be in place for some 20 years. It's been in the works for 7 years. Chris Shuchuk is the third planning and zoning administrator to oversee the process in that time.
We will make changes based upon the comments we heard and my input from the board. For me, the board will actually be the ultimate approver of the documents. So I'll get that input from them, and we will update the plan as necessary, and then present it back to the board. And there may be another meeting such as this. There will at least be a public hearing prior to adoption of the plans.
Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here tonight to say emphatically that I do not trust you or your process right now as it currently stands.
The bottom line is, whether it's back to square one or just revisions, it's clear this community had their voices heard tonight. On your side in Blair, Brent Weber, 6 News.
And to make it clear, there was no vote tonight and no scheduled vote until they can rework a new draft. You can find a link to the proposal on our website, WOWT.com.